Thank you for your patience. Welcome to our October 20th, 2022 Special Magistrate hearing for the Building Division. If there's anyone who wishes to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. Will you solemnly swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You all may be seated. Please silence all of your devices. Our first case is a hearing to impose fines on page 25. Inspector Nash Maddock, property address 2700 Northeast 57th Street, owner Glenroe LLC, case number BE 22010065. This case was first heard on 5/19/22 to comply by 7/21/22. One section not complied at $50. Total fines $4,350. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative cost of $945.15.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case and updating the case. We're here to impose the fines, and city is asking to reduce the fine to administrative cost of $945.15 for the case is in
So we're
compliance.
not in compliance?
Yes, we are.
We are in compliance. All right, we have fines of $159,800.
No, the fines are $4,500. We're asking to reduce the fine to administrative cost of $945.15.
I'm sorry, hang on, I got the wrong page. Gave you a heart attack. All right, I'm seeing a much lower amount on another page. Okay, all right, sir, for the record, if you'll speak into the microphone and state your name.
Christian Duhame.
All right, city's requesting administrative cost $945.15. Granted.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 3. Senior Inspector Jose Salgusti, property address 628 Riviera Isle Drive. Owner Stephen S. Walker, Karen L. Hooks, case number BE 2204-0142. Notice posted at the property on 9/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Good morning, Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. This case was opened on April 20th, 2022. I inspect the property and found a dock under repair without permit on records. Inspection report was mailed on April 22nd, 2022. Final notice was mailed on May 26, 2022. Second final notice was mailed on July 28, 2022. Notice of hearing was mailed on August 24, 2022. I've been in contact with the owner, Stephen Walker, and in October 13, and he explained to me that he's working in the process, in the permit. And this property has been cited by Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1, work without permit. The city is requesting 56 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name's Stephen Walker. I'm the property owner, and I agree with the facts that Mr. said.
All right, you understand what the gentleman said?
I do, and I accept that.
All right. Okay, for the record, I find the violation exists. 56 days to comply, $50 a day thereafter.
Correct.
All right, so ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 19. Chief George Oliva, property address 3880 West Davie Boulevard. Owner Stephen Francis Asiero, case number BE 2205-0127. Notice posted at the property on 8/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This case has been presented by Tom Corley, Inspector Tom Corley, on behalf of George Olivia.
Could whoever's phone keeps ringing, please silence your device as requested at the beginning of the hearing, please?
The report was submitted, but it failed. 180-day extension and $100 a day thereafter is requested.
I'm sorry, just say again, please.
Requesting, the report failed, and we're requesting 180-day extension and $100 a day fine thereafter.
All right, all right. Okay, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Sure, my name's Ron Barr, but I want to verify the case number, please, that was read.
All right, you understand what the gentleman said?
Yes, but again, I'd like to verify I'm here for the proper case number.
BE 22050127.
No, wrong case for me.
You're not for 3880 West Davie Boulevard?
No, I'm sorry, 3380 Southwest 11th Avenue.
Okay. Did someone sign in for 3880 West Davie Boulevard? Okay. Okay, moving on to page 9. Inspector Nashmatic, property address 3041 Northeast 49th Street. Owner BPL LLC, case number BE 22010053. Notice posted at the property on 9/26/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Morning, Your Honor. Inspector
morning.
Maddock presenting the case. And for the case and address as read, this case was opened on June 24, 2022. The case was discovered by an inspector where it was noted that Unit 311 was renovated and made into assembly area without obtaining a permit. Final notice for this property was sent on July 27, 2022, and notice of hearing was posted on property on September 6, 2022. Current status of case, that no permit has been applied for at this time. Your Honor, at this time, we're asking to find that violation exists and to grant the property owner 56 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Okay. All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Jean B. Pierre Louis.
All right, anything you'd like to add to what this gentleman said?
I would like.
You understand what he said?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. I would like if Your Honor can give me at least 91 days. Do the case is already in court because the tenant demolished the property without my authorization. My lawyer is in the process to evict the tenants.
All right.
Your Honor, unfortunately, there are no pictures to be provided to Your Honor as evidence. So are you admitting that the violation occurred, albeit through your tenant?
Yes.
And you're willing to come into compliance by obtaining the appropriate building permits?
Correct.
Okay, all right, so the city's request is 56 days or $50 per day thereafter?
Yes.
And I believe the property owner has asked for 90 days.
I will take 51 days.
The city's in agreement to
56
extend
days?
it to 91 days.
By the
Right,
time
if
we'll know what's
possible.
gonna happen.
Okay, for the record, I find the violation does exist. I'm going to grant 91 days, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Our next case is on page 29. It's a hearing to impose fines. Property address 1332 Bayview Drive, Chief George Oliva. Owner Hawthorne Bay, Inc., case number BE 21090119. This case was first heard on 2/17/22 to comply by 8/16/22. One section complied at $100. Total cost $2,900. City's requesting to reduce fines to administrative cost of $575.
Good morning, Your Honor, Chief George Oliva. They came into compliance and the city is requesting the administration cost of $575.
All right. All right, so state your name for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Carol Ferrero, attorney at law. I also happen to reside at Hawthorne Bay, and I have a board member present with me, Walter Metzke.
All right,
And we are willing to accept the fine of $575.
all right, very good. I'm going to impose administrative costs, $575.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 26. Chief George Oliva, property address 2 Isle of Venice Drive. Owner, Cadville LLC, case number CE 17050506. This case was first heard on 11/2/17 to comply by 12/14/17. One section not complied at $100. Total fines, $159,800. City is requesting to impose the full amount, which continues to accrue.
George Olive, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This case was opened on May 5th, 2017, and on December 13, 2017, we came to in front of the judge and we request a 180-day extension to comply due that the report was requiring corrections. Since then, I don't have any effort in records to comply. The city is requesting at this moment the full amount to be imposed.
Okay. All right.
The city is asking to impose the fines.
To impose the
Yes,
fines?
sir.
Okay. All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Sure. My name is Jerry McGuire. I'm the owner of Cadville, number 2 Isle of Venice. I've owned it for like 25 years. That building is a old antique from the 50s. Preservation, I can't, taking care of the building. 6 years ago, the Department of Transportation came by and put on new bridges on Las Olas, Hendricks Isles, and they replaced all those bridges. In the process of doing that, they did a serious amount of damage to my property. And they did things, they put some minor cracks, my dock, the seawall fell over, it's a disaster. This here is all my court records. I've been fighting with the Department of Transportation. The Department of Transportation put MCM in the middle. That's the company that did the work, even though I had a contract with the Department of Transportation to put the bridge out in front of my property. I'm right on the corner, I'm like 60 feet from where they were doing the work. In the process of doing the work, they did serious damage to my building. I went to court, Judge Wood put a stop order on that whole project. And in the process of putting the stop order on the whole project, they didn't stop anyway, but at least they didn't continue doing damage to my property by shaking the building. They were driving 24 by 24 inch pilings instead of pre-drilling the hole. They shook everything. So I have some cosmetic cracks in the building. My dock was replaced. Tons of work they did. I got photographs, pictures, and 8x10s. So Department of Transportation put the contractor between me and them. So I went round and round with the contractor, and they kept going through it. I went through a couple of different lawyers. Everybody got beaten off. Come to find out, the same contractor is the bridge in Miami that fell down and killed all those people. That's MCM. That's the same company that put those 3 bridges in. And if somebody wants, I'm glad we're up at a public hearing, and I can tell everybody that bridge is a disaster. It's got cracks all over it. You got one major crack right across the middle of it. I keep calling the city, I keep calling people, somebody come down and look at this bridge that they just put in 6 years ago. It's already fallen down. As opposed to when I did my 40-year inspection, everything's perfect. 50-year inspection, I told them, don't give me a clean bill. I want you to show those cracks, you know what I'm saying, that are on the corner of the building right next to where the bridge is. And it's a cosmetic crack. I got the paperwork. I have an engineer come down and look. It's not a structural issue. I was told by the attorney not to fix the cracks.
Sir, what are you doing to come into compliance?
I can't come into comply till I settle this case. I'll give you the paper. I have another hearing with the Department of Transportation next Monday morning at 8:45. Because they kind of and it's one of those, you talk on the computers. I'm still fighting with the Department of Transportation. MCM has no insurance. That's the company, that did those bridges. And I'd like to meet somebody over there I'm glad I'm talking to somebody that's on the record that the bridge has got cracks and it's a disaster. Nobody even wants to hear about it.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is not relevant to the case that we're here today. This is about a 40-year safety inspection that the gentleman haven't complied with the mandate from Broward County. And this moment, the city is mandated to request the fine to be imposed by Broward County. Once he come into compliance, we can come back over here and mitigate the fine. But at this moment, the city is requesting the imposition.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, city's request to impose the fines is granted. Thank you,
I
sir.
can't hear, I'm sorry.
Well, the fines are imposed. Once you come into compliance, we can look at all of these.
I was told by my attorney not to touch the cosmetic cracks on the building until this case is settled.
Sir, thank you.
I got it, I know, I understand.
Thank you. I've made my ruling.
I'm sorry, I'm just, this is all,
I understand, but you've got to come into compliance first, okay? Then
so
we
you
can
want me
look
to
at
fix the cracks? No, I'm.
Thank you, sir. Your
I'm so
case,
frustrated. Yeah,
sir,
thank you. That's what I've been
We have
getting. Thank
people
you.
waiting, sir.
All right, thank you.
Our next case is on page 30, property address 2121 East Commercial Boulevard, owner Marrington Group, case number BE 21070138, Chief George Oliva. This case was first heard on 11/18/21 to comply by 5/17/22. One section complied at $100. Total cost $5,100. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative cost of $575.
Okay.
Page, Tasha? Thank you.
All right.
Chief George Oliva, they came into compliance and the city is requesting for the fine to be reduced to the administration cost of $575.
All right, sir, if you'll speak into the microphone and state your name, please.
Yes, Mike Raybold.
All right, I assume you're agreeable to the reduction to administrative cost.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to impose administrative cost, $575. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page, 22, Senior Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 2670 East Sunrise Boulevard parking. Owner, Sunrise at Galleria LLC, case number BE 211-20119. This case was first heard on 6/16/22 to comply by 10/20/22. One section not complied at $100.
Good morning, Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city. Updating case as read. Case is not in compliance, but the property owner is being working towards compliance. I'm gonna let the respondent speak.
All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning, Patricia Tennies.
All right, if you get a little closer to the microphone. All right, and this is a request for an extension.
Yes, sir.
How many days are you requesting?
Until the hearing in January.
We can, city agree to an extension until January 29 with an order to reappear if it's not in compliance by then.
Okay, to January,
91 days, that would be.
I'm sorry, how many days?
91,
91 days.
with a mandatory reappearance.
Okay, all right, I'm going to grant a 91-day extension with a mandatory reappearance.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 12. Chief George Oliva, property address 707 Southeast 3rd Ave. Owner, Ben Fort Laud LLC, in care of the Benjamin Group, D. Smith, and all others. Case number BE 22050185. Notice posted at the property on 8/31/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief Oliva. The report was submitted, but it failed, a 180-day extension and $100 a day thereafter.
Okay. All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Michael Weiner. I am a Florida attorney. I'm here on behalf of the owners. We will accept a 180-day opportunity to comply.
All right, okay. For the record, I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sorry. Our next case is on page 19. Chief George Oliva, property address 5100 North Federal Highway. Owner, Hall Consolidated Group LLC, case number BE 2205-0145. Notice posted at the property on 9/29/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Tom Corley on behalf of Chief George Oliva for City of Fort Lauderdale. For this one, we have a 180-day extension to comply and $100 a day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record.
Good morning, Marco Lopez, property manager for 5100
All
North
right.
Federal Highway.
The gentleman's suggestion acceptable?
Absolutely.
All right, so for the record, I found the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor. You all have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 28. Chief George Oliva, property address 309 Southeast 18th Street. Owner, North Broward Hospital District, case number BE 2007-0040. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $100. Total fines, $38,400. City is requesting to reduce fine to administrative cost of $1,275.
Okay.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, this case is in compliance, and the city is requesting the administration fee of $1,275.
All right, good morning again, Counselor. If you'll state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrew Shine, representing the property owner.
All right, I assume the city's recommendation is acceptable?
Yes, we are good with that.
All right, I'm going to impose administrative costs, $1,275.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 10 at the top. Chief George Oliva, property address 1 La Sola Circle. Owner, Venetian Condominium, Inc., case number BE 2206-0145. Notice posted at the property on 10/3/22, posted at City Hall on 10/6/22.
Good morning, Inspector Suarez presenting case for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by
One
submitting.
moment, Hector. Is there a respondent here for 1 La Sola Circle? Okay, I have to, is that him? Okay. 1 La Sola Circle. No, I skipped around. Well, we're moving on to the next case. Page 29, property address 845 North Federal Highway, Chief George Oliva. Owner 831-845 North Federal Highway LLC, case number BE 2005-0405. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 7/1/21. One section not complied at $100. Total fines $47,400, which continues to accrue. City is requesting to impose the full amount.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, this case was opened on May 28, 2020, and it was presented to the special master on May 20, 2021, 1 year after. And since then, this case is not in compliance. The city doesn't have any report on records that they have provided to us. And unfortunately, the city has to request the full amount of the fine to be imposed today.
All right. Okay, city's requested the fines be imposed.
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. State your names for the record, please.
Michael Diddikel, I'm the owner.
All right, and
Regina Johnson Benjamin.
all right, tell me what's happening here.
Oh,
Speak right into the microphone, please.
As we understand it, we have failed to provide a 40-year inspection report. However, we do have a 40-year inspection report. This building has 2 folio numbers. The report was submitted by the engineering firm without the second folio number being attached to it. But all of the repairs that are ongoing for this property, they include both buildings. We have an electrician that is under contract with us to make the necessary repairs, and they have quoted based on the 40-year inspection for both buildings.
Your Honor, so far, like she say, the 2 folio numbers. This case is on the first folio number, and it's still showing no compliance. If she says she has an engineer with a report with no repairs, she needs to talk to that engineer. That engineer has to provide us a report with this folio number so we can work on it. And if it's compliance, we will come back here in a later day to mitigate the fines. But at this moment, I need to impose a fine because I don't have any ground to support this.
Okay, city's request is to impose the fines.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, I'm going to grant the city's request and impose the fines, and they continue to accrue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
There's
So Your Honor, the documentation and the quotes reflect both folios. It's just missing
Missing
a
the
folio
folio
number
number.
on the report. That's it.
No, okay, I've made my ruling. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 4, property address 1881 Southeast 17th Street. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. Owner owner BSREP 3 Fort Lauderdale LLC in care of Brookfield Property Group, case number BE 2206-0156. Notice posted at the property on 9/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22. Is there a respondent here for 1881? 1881 Southeast 17th Street? Okay. Jose, we're going to recall it. Property address 1401 South Federal Highway, page 15, Chief George Oliva.
I'm sorry, we're on page.
1401 South Federal Highway. Owner North Broward Hospital District, Attention Real Estate, case number BE 2205-0201. Notice posted at the property on 9/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Inspector Tom Corley on behalf of George Oliva, presenting cases read. Can you repeat the case again, please?
Number?
Yeah.
Case number BE 2205-0201.
Okay. For this case, it has a 180-day extension with a $100 a day thereafter, fines imposed,
I'm sorry, 180-day extension.
and a $100 a day thereafter.
Okay. All right, we're at the bottom of page 14. Is that correct? Okay.
15. The bottom of page 15.
Bottom of page 15.
Inspector Corley, can you state what the actual violation is, please?
The violation has failed the 40-year inspection.
All right, sir, if you'll,
The required safety inspection report has not been approved.
All right, and then read this one.
The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter. Sorry, it's 180 days. You have.
So they have submitted the report, and we need to get 180 days. Okay.
It's 180 days.
Where's it? Which one is it? All right, let me get, this is the blue one?
Yeah.
Or red? Okay. So you have to read this one. I thought it was this one, so read this one. Yeah, since it's blue.
Let me get in here. I'm sorry, Your Honor, it's kind of confusion.
All right.
Inspector calling, he's in training, and he confused the case from the top to the bottom case. This case, which is on page 15, case number BE 220-50201, North Broward Hospital District. This case is, we're requesting the 180-day extension because the report failed due to correction. So the city will request an extension for 180 days and $100 per day thereafter.
All right. All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Doug Fenema.
All right.
For the
Anything
North
you'd like
Broward?
to add to what the gentleman said?
No, sir. No, sir, that's acceptable to us.
Okay, for the record, I found the violation exists 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I do apologize for the confusion.
No problem.
Thank you, Chief. Our next case is on page 31, it's a hearing to impose fines. Chief George Oliva, property address 5661 Northeast 18th Ave, owner La Fontana Apartments, Inc., case number BE 2107-0137. This case was first heard on 11/18/21 to comply by 12/30/21. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $29,300, which continues to accrue.
Okay, we're at the bottom of page 31.
Tasha, please, can you repeat the case number? Because
Sure.
I was talking to too
Case
many
number
people.
BE 2107-0137.
Okay, George Oliva for the city. Case and address as read. This case was opened on July 20, 2021, and it was presented to the special master on November 18, 2021. As of today, this case has no compliances. There's no report to show any ground for an addition extension, so the city is requesting the full amount at this moment. Requesting the full amount.
Oh, I'm sorry, the city's requesting,
To impose the fines, Your Honor.
all right, okay. All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Angelo Petreccia, I'm the owner.
What's the problem with getting the report?
Well, I actually submitted the report, and George knows this, in January. Unfortunately, I wasn't aware that it was not complete, and I was just informed a couple days ago that it wasn't complete with obviously this hearing. As of today, the report is now complete, and we spoke via email yesterday. As of today, I have the report being submitted tomorrow to submit the full package to be in compliance
All right.
for the 10-year inspection.
Okay.
But I did submit in January the full report, the application. Unfortunately, I didn't submit one portion of it, and I was not aware of that.
When they submit the report, it has to be the full package. We cannot do halfway.
Got it,
But
I understand.
anyhow, today, we're still requesting the fine to be imposed. Once he come into compliance, we come back over here and we're gonna mitigate the fines.
I agree. Okay, I'm going to grant the city's request to impose the fines. They'll continue to accrue. Hopefully, we'll wrap this up shortly and we can visit the fines at that point.
You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 1, new business case. Inspector Mary Rich, Inspector Hector Suarez presenting on her behalf. Property address 3010 Holiday Drive, owner Harbor Beach Residences, LLC. Case number BE 2207-0205. Notice posted at the property on 8/31/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting case for Senior Inspector Mary Rich, BE 2207-0205, 3010 Holiday Drive. Property was inspected on July 26, 2022, and the following violation was observed. 28155, parentheses A through F. parentheses close. The existing fire backflow prevention device has not been tested for the subsequent recertification as per City of Fort Lauderdale Municipal Code of Ordinances. Final notice was mailed to property owner listed on BCPA on August 26, 2022, as a pre-hearing inspection on October 19th. Violation remains per BSI online. The city is requesting 42 days or $50 a day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Carlos Marion. I'm the owner. Yes, I mean, the violation is, the backflow has already been tested as of October 13th. One of the backflows failed, so I'm waiting for the proposal for any repairs that have to get done, but I'm okay with the 42 days. It's fine.
All right. So find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 27, Chief George Oliva, property address 8 Southwest 23rd Street, owner CNB Warehouse Management LLC, case number BE 200-50322. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 5/27/21. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $33,000, which continues to accrue.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This case has been back and forth a few times. The problem that we have with the case is that the building was supposed to be demolished. And as of today, there are no permits applied for the total demo, and there was one permit issue for the sewer cap to allow the process of demo to start. And back on April 25th, 2022, the permit was voided. At this moment, we don't have anything on records to prove any work on the progress there. I already spoke to the owner of the building, and I told him that he needs to go to see the engineer of records, request a letter that the building is safety to remain in place and it's vacant. If I get that, I would be more than happy to provide 180 days for the process to continue. But at this moment, I don't have any ground to support an extension, and the city is requesting the full amount of the fine to be imposed.
All right. Sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Your Honor, I'm Christian Boru, the owner. So what he's saying is all correct, except we had a lack of communication through emails as far as what he's saying, the engineer's letter. I have Quest Engineering working on the 40-year inspection. I've got plans, I've got copies of emails here, and I wasn't aware of the form or whatever he's requesting from the engineer. I've had, at this point, because of the circumstances that we could not demo, the fact that I'm in a zero lot line, whether legal or not, the neighbor next door, his building is tied to mine. On the other side is a lot which is leased to a rental car company, and I have cars parked across the building. I have all evidence to prove this in the file. I understand where we stand at this point. I have an engineer. We discovered asbestos in a building, so I couldn't get a contractor for a while. Then we had the whole pandemic situation, which made it even harder. So I've done part of the structural repairs to the building. I re-roofed the building. I've spent over $100,000 the past 6 months in the building. I am close to complying. The only thing I'm asking is to...
All this is fine, but the bottom line is you don't have the certification. You don't.
That's right, Your Honor.
So all of these things we can take into consideration, but you've got to come into compliance first.
I am.
Okay.
I've got the engineer. We're down to the electrical end right now and a few structural issues that I can do now, that the fact that we're at least dried in. And I had to get my neighbors to comply so we can even do work on the building.
Okay, sir. All right. I'm going to grant the city's request that the fines continue to accrue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So do I have a certain amount of time to?
You better get on it. The fines are accruing at $100 a day.
Our next case, excuse me, is on page 21. Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 2895 Northeast 32nd Street. Owner, Waterside on the Intracoastal Condo. Case number BE 2207-0196. This case was first heard on 9/15/22 to comply by 9/22/22. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $100.
Good morning, Your Honor. Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city. This is an old case, which was ordered already. This is an unsafe case, Your Honor. Like 2.5, 3 months ago, part of a soffit fall on the east corner of the building. On the last hearing, the day of the last hearing, we received the report almost 2 months after this happened. I mean, we requested an engineer report ASAP, and it took 2 months for them to turn it in. And it happens while we were here at the hearing. So that part of the case was complied. Then now I requested back then 63 days for them to submit for permits in order to repair that area of the soffit. Last Saturday, I was on call this week, and last Saturday, I received a call that the front entrance soffit fall again. So I spent my whole entire Saturday there making sure that the hanging parts were removed. And so now I would like to recall, Your Honor, those 63 days that was granted by you on last hearing to 30 days for them to submit the report. To apply and obtain the permits. 30 days instead 63 to come down to 30 days for them to obtain the permits to repair the soffit. I just want to understand the soffit has been removed and is unprotected now. If we're still in hurricane season, if there is a high wind, that roof will be gone in no time. So we need to get that corrected.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to let the defendant speak.
So, Your Honor, at the last hearing, the inspector and the city had asked for 63 days to come into compliance with applying and obtaining repairs. And as the inspector has testified, there was further damage and deterioration of the building. He was out there all Saturday on an additional area of concern. And as we are in hurricane season, he is asking to amend your prior order, which gave the property 63 days down to
30 days or 28 days.
35 days?
No, 35 days.
35 days to come
And we're
into.
still, excuse me, Rhonda, we're still going to keep the 180 days from the day that the permit is issued for them to complete the repair. Because that was the other.
So the city would like to amend Your Honor's prior order, giving them 63 days down to 35 days based upon the further deterioration of the structure. And then, of course, they would have 180 days after that to complete the repairs, but we want the permits applied for and obtained within those 35 days.
All right. All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record.
Patrick Dervishi, I'm an attorney for the Waterside Condominiums Association. First and foremost, I appreciate Mr. Martinez and everybody else assistance. We're working as fast as we can, trying to comply with all the legal requirements, all the requirements of the declaration of the condominium. So we're doing everything that we can. We are in compliance with the final order that was issued in this case. The only thing that I'm trying to understand, we had a discussion, we have no problem reducing the 63 days. However, I just, for clarification purposes, if we make it 35 from what date? From the date of the final order? Because then that brings me.
From today,
From today, that's fine.
that would be, yeah, today, from today.
Exactly.
Do we have to be from the day of the order original? Right.
So the add up is the same?
The outcome would be the same.
Yeah, if you give them 35 from today, it's the same as.
Okay, now then we'll stay the way that we did.
Keep the 63?
Yeah.
Yeah,
keep
I
the
don't
63.
think the city can ask to go back in time and cut. It would have to be from today.
So we'll leave it.
Okay, so in essence, we're granting a 35-day extension. No?
We are going to, I apologize for jumping in. And of course, my word is as the word of the attorney. We are working, if that could happen within this week, that could happen within 10 days. If we leave the order as 63 days, then we come into what the city is requesting. I'm actually willing, if you feel that we can amend it, how about we can do it 25 days from today, and we can amend the order from.
We stay the same way that we were before, 63. I didn't realize that, I mean, requesting now 35 days would be, plus the time that already passed, it would be the 63 days around that frame. So we stayed like we agreed last
Okay,
time.
I'm just trying to figure out what the proper ruling is.
Right. Okay. To comply. Okay. So, sorry for the confusion, Your Honor. Let me see if I can clarify it for the record. So, today was a mandatory notice to reappear. Counsel was unable to appear at the last hearing because he had a court conflict. So, the prior order gave the property owner until November 17th
All right.
to apply for and obtain the repair permits.
All right.
So the city, after this discussion, would like to just keep that order in place, and the property will have until November 17th to obtain the permits needed to repair.
All right,
So
okay.
it's really just an update, and council's basically saying that they're working diligently, and
All right.
we're
very
assuming
good.
that they can
Okay.
meet that November 17th.
So
course.
ordered. Good. Thank
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 31, Chief George Oliva, property address 3380 Southwest 11th Ave, owner Eagle Holding, Inc., in care of TDA Industry, case number BE 2004-0481. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $38,600, which continues to accrue.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city. This case was opened on April 29, 2020, and it was presented to the magistrate on February 18, 2021, with a 42-day extension was given on that day to comply. On April 6, 2021, a report was submitted to me, and I provide a 180-day extension due to the corrections required or repairs. This ended on October 6, 2021, and there's no effort to comply since then, or any permit issue for any restoration repairs. So at this moment, the city is requesting the full amount till they come into compliance, and then we will revisit the fines, and we will try to mitigate them. But at this moment, the full amount has to be imposed.
All right. All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record.
Ron Barr.
All right. Anything you'd like to add?
I am the architect that's been recently re-retained to perform the recertification based on the Broward County Building Safety Program. From the prior reports, the structural improvements were addressed and signed off by myself as repaired. There are two outstanding electrical issues that are now being addressed, and we request an extension of 180 days.
All right, so I'm going to grant the city's request to impose the fines. They'll continue to accrue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, at this time, we're going to take a recess. Thank you.
All right.
Case is on page 22. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 401 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard, owner Capri Hotel LLC, case number BE 211-00366. This case was ordered to reappear. This case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 3/24/22. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. The city is requesting at this moment that the compliance date be extended to 2/16/2023 and in order to reappear on the same date. And I'm going to let the respondent speak.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record.
Daniel King.
All right, you were ordered to reappear for an update.
Yes, so we're making steady progress. Had to demobilize for hurricane, all the swing stages and nettings, and remobilize. A few delays, but the full crew's working around the clock whenever they can and making good progress. So that date should tie in very close to our
Okay, do we have an agreement as to what we do?
Yes, the city is requesting again the compliance date be extended to 2/16/2023 and in order to reappear on the same date.
2/16.
All right, okay, so
Yeah,
ordered.
we agree. Yeah.
Oh, my apologies. Our next case is on page 22 also. 3101 Bayshore Drive, owner Fort Laud Residences Hotel Condo Association, case number BE 211-00368. This case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 3/24/22. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. City is requesting the compliance date be extended to 2/16/2023 and in order to reappear on the same date.
All right, again, ordered to reappear for an update.
Yes, sir. This
Okay.
is just the second tower of the same complex.
All right, very good. So same ruling.
Correct. To extend the compliance date to 2/16/2023 and in order to reappear on 2/16/2023.
All right, good. So ordered.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 23. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2054 Southwest 30th Terrace, owner Tamir Vardy, case number BE 2102-0008. This case was first heard on 6/17/21 to comply by 9/16/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. Total cost $7,300. City is requested to reduce fines to administrative costs of $1,761.11.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This case is complied. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Sure. Good morning, Your Honor. Tamir Vardy.
All right, and I'm going to follow the city's recommendation, impose administrative costs $1,761.11.
Can I ask for something? I know my cases took a long time, but the majority of the time it's because I had a tenant there that it was really hard to get him out of there. And that's the majority of the time because of the pandemic. And it's going to be really helpful if you can reduce it to maybe like 700 or something more manageable. I really appreciate it.
Well, you actually accrued fines of $7,300.
I understand.
Sir, city won't oppose to a reduction. City won't oppose to a reduction to 700.
Apparently, the inspector is amending his request, and he's agreeing with the property owner and said he would not object to the further reduction of the administrative cost to $700.
To how much?
$700.
All right, granted.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Good
Thank you.
translation.
Thank you.
Translator. I understand everything she said.
Our next case is on page 10. Chief George Oliva, property address 281 Southwest 33rd Street. Owner, Ulif Investments. Case number BE 2206-0024. Notice posted at the property on 9/20/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22. This is a new business case.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right to the microphone and state your name.
Louis Rangel.
All right, anything you'd like to add?
Agreed.
Okay, all right, I found
Thank you,
the
Your Honor.
violation does this, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you so much.
Our next case is on page 8. Inspector Nash Maddock, property address 1612 Northeast 16th Ave. Case number BE 2204-0022. Owner, Rowan Lee and Wenru Ma. Notice posted at the property on 9/24/22. Posted at City Hall on 10/6/22.
Morning, Your Honor. Inspector Maddock presenting the case and address is read. This case was opened on April 11, 2022. This case was discovered by inspector. Was noted that fence, concrete driveway, windows and doors, and AC unit was changed without obtaining a permit. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on April 11, 2022. Final notice was posted at the property on June 22, 2022, and notice of hearing was posted on August 29, 2022. Current status of the case is, as of today, permit application has been applied for this violation and permits for fence has been issued. Concrete driveway has been issued. Windows and doors is in process, but it has not been issued yet. And AC change out is in process, but it has not been issued yet. At this time, we're asking Your Honor to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, the city's request is?
28 days or $50 a day thereafter.
28 days?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, sir, if you'll speak into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning, it's Raimir Lopez. I'm here on behalf of Henry, the owner.
I'm sorry, you are?
Raimir Lopez.
And are you the owner?
No, I'm not. I'm on behalf of the owner. I'm representing the owner. I really gave like a power of attorney.
He submitted a power of attorney.
Oh, okay, all right, very good. Okay, anything you'd like to add, sir?
So basically, we submitted all the permits. The only permit that we're missing is the AC change out because I have a revision that came back asking for a bunch of things that I don't think is needed for a change out, but I'll have to check that. But I don't see why we're gonna get a fine for the delays because we submitted the permits right away. We're just waiting for the city to process them.
You won't get a fine. They're asking, well, first of all.
28 days.
Yeah, there's 28 days, but let me just, if I could, Your Honor, clarify with the inspector. Inspector, the violation is for a new fence and a new driveway. Did you testify that the permits have been obtained for the new fence and the new driveway?
The case was expanded to the windows and doors and the AC unit. But everything is in process right now, so it's just waiting for the final approval.
You've 28 additional days to finish up your permitting.
That's the problem. The permits take forever. We submit it, they come back. We submit it, they come back. It's a never-ending process. So it's going to take more than 20 days to get the final permit approved. We have the driveway and the fence, which was the first ones. The permits are already issued. But the windows is almost done. I think I just have to pay the fees. But the AC change out is asking for even for a roofing permit. I don't know why, because we only change out the unit. So I'm just trying to get that one approved, but that's the only one that we're missing. As long as it gets approved, that we're in compliance. So I don't see why we have to push it so far, because we're only depending on the city.
City will agree to 56 days if that will help, but
I'm okay if you want to do a reappearance. If you want to do a reappearance after the 25 days, but no like fine. You know, if we're gonna get the permits, if it's not on us.
If everything is completed within 28 days, then we'll close the case, but,
Inspector, we have to deal with the violations that we previously cited him for. We can't add those windows and doors.
the violations that were previously cited, they were corrected, and they don't exist anymore, yeah. They're,
Okay, so then it would
Yeah.
have to be a different case. We cannot add those here.
the other part of the case was the windows and the AC unit.
Okay.
Okay, so the first violation that we have was for the driveway and the fence. Then this is the one that we're talking about. That one is already issued, right?
Those permits have been issued.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I apologize for the confusion on the part of the city. We're going to withdraw this case because it's been complied.
You're dropping the case?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
It's been complied. Thank you, sir.
okay.
Ideally,
You've already complied with the fence and the driveway. That's
Yeah.
what's on today's
I
agenda.
know it's gonna have a different case for the windows and the AC. So as soon as I get the process number, it's almost issue anyway, so. should be
Great. So you're working on the other issues, but, and again, my apologies for the confusion, but the case that is listed on today's docket only says new fence and driveway. And as the inspector has read into the record, those permits have been obtained.
All right,
So we're withdrawing it because the case is in compliance.
very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next case is on page 32. It's administrative hearing. Inspector Vaughn Malakis. Case number TAM-VIO-2208-0003. Address 323 Mola Ave. Owner Ashita Homestead LLC. This case was cited on 8/17/22 to comply by 8/17/22. One section complied at $150. City is requesting the full amount of $450. Appeal deadline 9/2/22. Appeal received 9/2/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Malakis for the city, presenting case number and address as read. On August 17, 2022, at about 12:33 p.m., an inspection of the area, particularly 323 Mola Drive, discovered that there was a construction vacuum truck in operation parked and/or being stored above the public right-of-way, resulting in single-lane closure. In speaking with the general contractor of New Vision Construction, he admitted to storing the construction vehicle about the public right-of-way with the intentions of its daily operation. Based on my findings, he was found in violation of 25(7)A. There's unpermitted storage, particularly the construction vehicle in operation found parked and/or being stored above the public right-of-way. Citation number TM-0131 in the amount of $150 was issued to remove immediately from the right-of-way. The photos were taken as evidence. A re-inspection of the property on August 19th, the following day, discovered the unpermitted storage still present. Notice was mailed out to the property owner via first class and certified mail as listed on Broward County Property Appraisers on August 23rd, 2022. The property was also posted a formal notice for the day's hearing on September 29th. The city is requesting the full imposition of fines in the amount of $450 as the property was out of compliance a total of 3 days. Property representative is here.
All right, sir.
Yes,
Your
thank
turn.
you. Yeah, good morning. My name is Charlie Lustig. I'm the new general contractor on this project. The area in question, I have a copy of the certified plot plan on the property. In actuality, the trailer was about 80% on the owner's property. It's a very unique property. And we couldn't move it over to the parking section of our property because the city's underground contractor for FPL had turned around and rendered the area inaccessible for them. So we were hoping that the city would give us some consideration because the other issue that happened that day, and I'm sure the inspector probably would have some pictures that'll help support this because these were taken the same that he took them. They were, the city's underground contractor was literally blocking the street. And Mola Ave in that section is only, I think, 13 feet wide, so it's not a full regular city street. So we were parked mostly on our property.
Okay, Your Honor, a copy of the photos taken during the violation, existing, is presently visible and could be seen.
Right, and off that wall, we have 6 feet as our property.
And the other portion of it is in the right-of-way.
Part of it was, yes.
Okay, so that's what you're
But
being cited.
it was a vehicle, it was a trailer that they had to bring hoses across to be able to spray insulation in the building.
And that's what you're being cited for, obstruct storage on the right of way.
I would like to think that they would give us some consideration with the way the property is configured, Inspector.
It's up to you.
All right. Based on the evidence, I'm going to deny the appeal and impose the fine of $450. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 30, Chief George Oliva, property address 2731 Northwest 19th Street. Owner Wesley H. Johnson, case number BE 2005-0336. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 11/16/21. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting the full amount of $33,700, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Judge. Wes Johnson on behalf of myself.
Good morning. Okay,
George Oliva, in behalf of the city, case number and address as read. This case was opened on May 24th, 2020, and the notice for the hearing was mailed on May 20, 2021, and it came in front of the judge on 5/21/2021. They submit a report to the city, and we provide them 180 days to comply. At this moment, the extension 188 days has ended, and there is no compliance on the records, and the city is requesting for the full amount to be imposed.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
on
Go ahead.
on 5/12/21, I turned in the 40-day plus, 40-year plus 10, which is a 50-year inspection by the architect. We had trouble during the pandemic, and when I turned the paperwork in, it was alluded that I would have a little bit of leeway in this because of the pandemic. I was unable to get the roofing metal because it was allocated to large orders, 10,000 square feet or more. That was Miami-Dade. My contractor, in the middle of this, because of the time that passed and he couldn't get the material, he said, hey, there's nothing I can do on this. We then, I sent an architect out there to reevaluate it. He said the only thing wrong was the roof. I had Down Arpin, an engineer. He certified everything that was there. The bar joists, the structure was in good shape. I turned all this into the office about 10 days ago, and I believe the permits from the city of Fort Lauderdale has been met. We are only waiting for the Broward County for the sign off on it to make sure that this building materials are safe.
All right, but the bottom line is you're still not in compliance.
And I just want to put a note on this case that Broward County, the attorney, sent a notification to all the cities in the county that the COVID-19 is not part or for not compliance with the 40 years. It's not related to the emergency order that was signed, and everybody has to comply during that emergency order with the 40 years report.
Okay, so the
There's no
city's
exception
request is
for
to
COVID.
impose the fines, okay?
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right, and
you.
we can go into all of the, once you come into compliance, we can address the extenuating
That's right.
circumstances.
Now, we applied for a 180-day extension, which I understood, talking to Mr. Olivia, that they were going to grant me that to finish it up. I believe all the permits except for Broward County have been issued. Is that true, sir?
The 180
Your Honor,
days has already expired as
The 180 day expired, and he cannot request another 180 day extension. We don't have a permit issue for anything that has to be related to the Florida request for the 40 years inspection certificate. So we cannot provide him with another extension if an engineer, first of all, the engineer of record has to request on a letter to the city the extra 180 days. He has to sign it, seal it, and place a permit number that is open for the repair required. So at this moment, there's no compliance, there's no extension, there's nothing, just the imposition of the fines.
What's the city's position?
To impose the fines, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I'm going to grant the city's request to impose the fines. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm going to grant the city's request to impose the fines. Thank you.
I'm sorry, you're cut off, Your Honor.
The fines are imposed.
The fines
Pardon?
are imposed.
So you're, this request for this continuance was
Choose
denied?
Yes, sir.
I don't think thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Our next case is on page 9, Inspector Nashmatic, property address 4761 Northeast 28th Ave. Owner, Angela Ergon Bloom, case number BE 22050155. Notice posted at the property on 9/26/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Morning, Your Honor.
9 at the bottom.
No, hang on. Got it. Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Maddock presenting the case for address as read. This case was opened on June 24, 2022. The case is about expired permit for installation of a sun deck. Inspection report was mailed to property owner on May 20th, 2022. Final notice was sent to the property on July 27, 22, and notice of hearing was posted on property on September 6, 2022. Permit has expired for this project and has not been renewed. At this time, we're asking Your Honor to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Okay. All right, ma'am, if you'll state your name for the record.
My name is Angela Ergon Bloom. I'm the property owner at 4761 Northeast 28th Avenue.
All right. Anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I don't understand all of this. I have talked to the inspector, and I really think from the time of notice to now is really a short notice for someone that doesn't know what's happening with this. I paid the complete amount for a contractor to put in a new roof and put in a new overhang. The overhang I paid in full, and the roof was financed, part of it through White Green, which now has been totally paid off. Unfortunately, White Green gave the money directly to the contractor, so I have no pull in saying, complete this or I won't give you the money.
Okay.
The permits expired, and I believe the contractor at one point or another renewed them, but didn't finish the job, although my overhang is totally complete. And I think those inspections were done, because I saw some inspectors out there inspecting the
We're
property.
here, this is about a sun deck, and you're talking about an overhang?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, you got 28 days to figure it out.
Sir, I need more than 28 days. I sent a notice of, I talked to the inspector, and he suggested I could call the Department of Business and Professional Regulations. And I filled out a form to complain about the contractor. And I haven't heard from them. And the inspector suggested, I don't know how to state what you suggested, but you could suggest it again. What are my options in this? Because 28 days, I haven't even heard back from the Department of Business and Professional Regulation.
I'll try, Your Honor. So the Department of Business and Professional Regulation does not have the authority to mandate the contractor to come back and open the permit and get the final inspection and get it closed. They have authority over the contractor's license. So that's not, while it's somewhat related to your expired permit, it's not that complaint, and the resolution of that complaint is not going to fix your violation, unfortunately. It may assist in nudging them along, but it may not. So they don't have the authority to order that. So you need to either find another contractor or speak with the building department to see if you can get an owner-builder permit to renew the permit and get a final inspection for the work under this permit. I'm not sure about whether you can get an owner-builder. They're the experts on that. Otherwise, you would need a contractor to come and renew the permit and get a final inspection and close the case.
Okay. I'm going to find the violation does exist. 28 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Is this an AC? Is this an AC?
I want to state that I disagree. 28 days is not enough to do anything of this type of nature, and considering that I already paid in
It
full.
is, ma'am. At least we're going to start there, okay? Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. Chief George Oliva.
I know.
Property address 924 Northwest First Street. Owner, McClinton Holdings LLC. Case number BE 2205-0184. Notice posted at the property on 9/26/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Morning, this is Inspector Corley on behalf of Chief George Oliva, presenting the case as read. The required safety inspection report hasn't not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay. All right, ma'am, if you'll state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Juliana Hernandez, and the property manager for McClinton Holdings.
Okay. You understand what the gentleman said?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay. I found the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 1. Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 1344 Northwest First Ave, 1-3. Owner, Verdad Property Management LLC, case number BE 2207-0180. Notice posted at the property on 9/20/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city, presenting case as read. This case was opened on July 22nd, 2022. Property was cited for the following violations: Florida Building Code 2020, Section 111.1.1. The use of this property has been changed from single-family home to a triplex without obtaining a certificate of occupancy. A final notice was emailed to the property owner on July 22nd, 2022. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on September 20, 2022. City is requesting 56 days to come into compliance or $50 per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, how many days?
56.
Okay. All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Natalie Adams.
All right, anything you'd like to add to what this gentleman said?
I have been working to try and find somebody to help me resolve this issue. The building has been a triplex since the 1970s, and a lot of work is going to be involved to bring it up to code to get a certificate of occupancy for it to be a legal triplex. I've explained that to Mr. Del Rio, and I don't have the funds right now to hire the contractors. They have quoted me engineering costs of $18,000 as well as construction costs anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. I don't have the funds to do that. So I'm asking for 180 days to be able to properly engage the engineer to start the drawings. And then I'll proceed from there.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find the violation does exist. 56 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter. You need to stay in touch with this gentleman.
That's not enough time.
No, you need to stay in touch with him. If you're making progress, we can adjust that, but that's my ruling for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 5. Senior Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1137 Southwest 5th Place. Owner, Monopoly LLC, case number BE 2206-0071. Notice posted at the property on 9/21/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22. Hello. Okay. One moment, ma'am. I'll call you back. Moving over to page 24. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 326 Southwest 15th Street. Owner, Marshmallow Properties Holdings Corp., case number BE 2201-0176. This case was first heard on 6/16/22 to comply by 8/18/22. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,100.
Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. The case is not in compliance. City is requesting to impose the fines. I will let the respondent to speak.
All right, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Saul Gonzalez. I'm representing the gentleman, Marshall Horner, from Marshmallow Properties. You do have a power of attorney from us. Well, he contracted me to try and get it into compliance. We went to the city of Fort Lauderdale and submitted the application for the permit, and they refused to take the application. They said that for putting the pickets on there, because we weren't removing any posts or restructuring the fence, that we didn't need a permit for that. And we spoke to, we let them know that this was going on and that that you guys are requiring us to put a permit on that job, and spoke to the senior, official there, and he says that code violation enforcement, and he said that we didn't need it, that Mr. Bert Ford, the zoning chief, that we didn't need it. So at this point, I'm not sure where do we go so that we can get in compliance and get
Your
our...
Honor, this is a massive hearing. We are not here to argue regarding the violation in this case.
All right. Okay, I'm going to grant the city's request to impose the fines they continue to accrue. Thank you.
Okay, well then at this point, I have to ask you, what do we do? They don't want to accept
You need to stay in touch with this gentleman.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Recalling the case on page 5, Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1137 Southwest 5th Place, case number BE 2206-0071.
Sure, we're the middle of page 5.
Yes.
Inspector Martinez represented the city, case analysis as read. Your Honor, I visited this property upon my arrival. A shower door vehicle van was arriving at the gate doors, and the gate doors were opened. When I approached him, I was able to observe, standing from the garage door, that there were new wooden partitions that appear recently installed. New water heater on a CVS wall was installed in the back of the exit door. I proceed to issue a stop work order. I handled to Wilson, which I handled that stop work order to Wilson Arguelles, who was the worker in the property at the time of my inspection. The worker contacted the contractor named Wilson Perez. I explained that the worker must leave the property because I was issuing a stop work order. No work should continue until permits are applied and issued. I posted a stop work order. The property was cited for work without permit under FBC 2020, Section 105.1. This case was opened on June 14 of 2022. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on June 17th of 2022. The final notice was mailed to the property owner on July 26th of 2022. And the notice of hearing was posted at the property on September 21st of 2022. Until today, Your Honor, no permit has been submitted. I had talked to the owner a couple of times. She was at first saying that maybe she would return the garage to be a garage, but after that she changed her mind and nothing hasn't happened. We're asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
28 days.
63.
63, Your Honor.
3.
Yes, or $50 per day.
Okay. All right, ma'am, if you'll state your name, speak right into the microphone.
Stacy Nowden.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. I purchased this property in April of this year, and the previous owners did convert the garage into a living space with some bedrooms upstairs and a bathroom. As the inspector mentioned when he came by that day, he spoke with the contractor that I had hired. What I've done since then is I've gone down to the city, looked on the microfiche, found a couple of building permit applications for that garage conversion that they did. And what I'm trying to do is get plans done to bring the work that they did into compliance. There has been no new work done to the garage. This was something that was existing. What I'm doing right now is I just applied for a permit to get the roof done because rain was just coming into the property. It was in disrepair. So I've been trying to handle the more immediate thing with the roof first. That's being done right now. So I'm just asking for an extension, as the inspector just mentioned, so that I could have some time to get the plans done to bring what the previous owner did into compliance.
All right, well, I believe you can get this straightened out in 63 days. So I'm going to find that the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Is everyone in here for lien reduction? Okay. This concludes our respondents, Your Honor. Let's go back to page 2 at the bottom. Inspector Hector Suarez, property address 1620 Northwest 16th Street, case number BE 2205-0050. Owner Paula G. Schwartz, Jarena Giles. Notice posted at the property on 8/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting case as read. Property was inspected on May 10th, 2022, and the following violation was observed as depicted in the photos. 91D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consistent of, but not limited to, wood fence. Inspection report was mailed to the owner listed on BCPA on May 10th, 2022. Final notice sent on June 10, 2022. I have had contact with property owner and advised of violation and how to comply. As a pre-hearing inspection on October 14, 2022, permit BLD-FEN-2207-0032 is awaiting permit issuance but not issued. Violation remains. The city is requesting 42 days or $50 a day thereafter.
I'm sorry, 42 days or
$50 a day.
$50 a day. I found the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Page 3 at the top, property address 1700 Southwest 24th Street. Owner Adnan Kabara. Case number BE 2206-0079. Notice posted at property 9/2022. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting case as read. Property was inspected on June 15, 2022, and the following violation was observed as depicted in the photos. 91D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consistent of, but not limited to, chain link fence. Inspection report was mailed to owner listed in BCPA and on June 16, 2022. Final notice sent on July 19, 2022. As a pre-hearing inspection on October 14, 2022, there are no permits applied for chain link fence. Violation remains. The city is requesting 42 days or $50 a day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving on to page 4 at the top. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1881 Davie Boulevard, owner HIG LLC, case number BE 22040027. Notice posted at the property on 9/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. This case was opened on April 6, 2022. I inspected the property and found two accessory structures on the back of the property without any permit. Inspection report was mailed on April 13, 2022. Final notice was mailed on May 5, 2022, and notice of hearing was mailed on August 22, 2022. I have been in contact with the owner. He's working to have the plans ready to be submitted. And at this point, it's not any permit issue. The property has been cited under Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1, work without permit. City is requesting 56 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter.
Sorry, how many days to comply?
56.
Okay, all right. I find the violation does exist. 56 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 5 at the bottom, property
Page 4.
in the middle. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Property address 1881 Southeast 17th Street. Owner BSRAP 3 Fort Lauderdale LLC in care of Brookfield Property Group. Case number BE 22060156. Notice posted at the property on 9/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. This case is not in compliance. I have been in contact with a contractor. He's working to have the permit completed. The city is requesting the owner to come in compliance within the next 56 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist. 56 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the bottom of page 5. Property address 1217 Northeast 9th Ave. Owner FG Real Property LLC. Case number BE 22060074. Notice posted at the property on 9/16/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Case and address as read. I visited this property and met with the general manager, Kevin Petrosky, who gave me access and walked us through the property. After finished the inspection, I informed him that they will be receiving an inspection report for all the work that was done without permits. During the inspection, we observed new electrical panels and lights, overhead door replacement, new ACs, new partition office, new plumbing. The property was cited for work without permit on the FBC 2020, Section 105.1. This case was open and inspection report was sent to the property owner on June 14th of 2022. The final notice was sent to the property owner on July 19th of 2022. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on September 16th of 2022. Until today, no permit has been applied. We're asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or fines of $100 per violation per day thereafter.
All right, 63 or 100?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I find the violation does exist. 63 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Page 6, Property address 1221 Northeast 9th Ave, owner FG Real Property LLC, case number BE 2206-0075. Notice posted at the property on 9/16/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Your Honor, Inspector Martinez, representing the city, case and others as read. I just want to clarify that this case is attached to the other case. These are like a block of units, and what they did, they own one of the units, and they rented another 2 units. Okay, but they are different folios. That's why we have to go different cases. I visited the property and I met with the general manager, Kevin Petrosky, who gave us access and walked through the property. We observed during the inspection new electrical panels and lights, overhead door replacement, new AC units, new partitions office, new plumbing. The property was cited for work without permit on the FBC 2021. This case was open and inspection report was sent to the property owner on June 14th of 2022. The final notice was mailed to the property owner on July 19th of 2022. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on September 16th of 2022. Permits applied for built-out bakery permit application was submitted on October 12th of 2022. The permit as today is in process. We're asking your honor to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or fines of $100 per violation per day thereafter.
I found the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, your honor.
Property address 1520 Southeast 2nd Court, 1-5, owner Tony Bradley, case number BE 2208-0220. Notice posted at the property on 8/31/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Martinez representing the city, case and others as read. I visited this property as request for the complainant, John, who was at that moment the tenant of the property. I observed a crack on what appears to be an structural beam. John, the tenant, informed us that he was moving out of the property, but he wanted to make sure that the unit it is not rented to someone else in that condition. I was able to contact the owner, Tony Bradley. He explained that he's going through an eviction process with this tenant, and he does not have access into the unit. He stated that there is nobody living on the upstairs apartment at this moment. This case was cited on the FPC 2020, Section 116.1.1 on safe structure. This case was open and inspection report was sent to the property owner on August 22nd of 2022. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on August 31st of 2022. The city is requested from the owner a letter from an engineer within 7 days of this hearing or $50 per day thereafter.
Sorry, how many days?
7 days.
7 days.
We're requesting that letter from the engineer 7 days from this hearing.
All right.
Providing a prescribed remedy on how it's going to be fixed. We are requesting also, city is requesting 63 days to obtain the permit to fix this issue, or $100 or $50 per day thereafter,
All right.
and 180 days to complete the work.
All right. Okay. The relief requested by the city is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next,
I'm sorry, we missed that. We want to Your Honor find that the violation exists. I didn't get to that point.
you wanted to say it? That was your thing?
Yeah. I mean, I read first the request from the city, but I just want you to also analyze that the violation exists.
All right. Granted.
Thank you. Property address 1600 Southeast 14th Street, case number BE 2206-0087. Owner Charles Tapola, Notice posted at the property on 8/31/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Martino representing the city, case and others as read. This case, we received this case from Code Inspector Gustavo Caracas that confirmed, and then after I confirmed myself because I visited the property, and there is a new tiki hut that was built in the rear of this property with no permit application on the city records. The property was cited for work without permit on the FPC 2020, Section 105.1. The case was open and inspection report was sent to the property owner on June 17th of 2022. The final notice was sent to the property owner on July 22nd of 2022, and the notice of hearing was posted on August 31st. I was able to speak to the property owner. He just came in from Canada for the boat show, and he's agreed, to try to bring the property into compliance. We ask your honor that to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to obtain the required permits to come into compliance, or fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Find the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Property address 3145 Northeast 9th Street. Owner Esposito Enterprises, Inc., case number BE 2208-0267. Notice posted at the property on 9/1/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Martinez, representing the city, case and others as read. The balcony of this property was removed because it was in bad condition. The owner blocked the balcony entry door from the building so nobody could access. The roof overhang was showing some cracks, and from the balcony that was removed, and a structural beam and some other exposed rebar were left hanging in the front of the property. There was a permit applied to replace the beam and the stucco that was cracked. And this permit was issued on May 17 of 2022. The property was cited on the Section 9-306, exterior maintenance. That's a city ordinance. This case was open and a special report was sent to the property owner on August 24 of 2022. The notice of hearing was posted on September 1st of 2022. As today, the facade was completed repair. I mean, all the cracks were repaired, the rebars exposed was corrected, and they are in the middle of install a new balcony on this property. So we're asking your honor to find that the violation does exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to obtain the required permits for the construction of the new balcony, or $100 per violation per day thereafter.
All right, now find the violation.
And $180, 180 days from the date the permit is issued to complete the work, or fines of $100 per day.
All right,
63 days for the permit,
okay.
or $100. 180 days since the day that the permit is issued, or $100 per day.
All right, the relief requested by the city is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving on to page 7, Inspector Nash Maddock, property address 1131 Northeast 16th Terrace, case number BE 2208-0292. Owner, Chiron Fam Trust 2021, Norman Chiron Trustee. Notice posted at the property on 9/24/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Morning, Your Honor. Inspector Maddock presenting the case and address as read. This case was opened on September 1st, 2022. This case was discovered by an inspector, where it was noted the entire swimming pool was built without obtaining a permit. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on September 1st, 2022, and notice of hearing was posted on the property on September 6th, 2022. Current status of the case: as of today, permit application has been applied for this violation, but it has not been approved or issued. At this time, we're asking Your Honor to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or a fine of $250 per violation per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, the city's request is
28 days or $250 per day thereafter.
28 days.
Yes, sir. Or $250.
On the
a day.
violation does exist, 28 days to comply, $250 per day thereafter.
Property address 1220 Northeast 16th Ave, case number BE 2208-0296. Owner, Tyrone Fam Trust, Normand Tyrone Trustee. Notice posted at the property on 9/26/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Your Honor, Inspector Maddock presenting the case as an address as read. This case was opened on September 6, 2022, and it was discovered by an inspector where it was noted that entire swimming pool was built without obtaining a permit. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on September 6, 2022, and notice of hearing was posted at the property on September 6, 2022. Current status of the case is, as of today, permit application has been applied for this violation, but it has not been issued or approved yet. At this time, we are asking Your Honor to find that violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or a fine of $250 per violation per day thereafter.
All right, find the violation does exist, 28 days to comply, $250 per day thereafter.
Property address 1518 Southeast Second Court, case number BE 22050165. Owner, Paula D. Loggins, James D. Yeater. Notice posted at the property on 9/26/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Your Honor, Inspector Maddock presenting the case and address as read. This case was opened on September 6, 2022, and it's expired permit for demo. Inspection report was mailed on the property owner on September 6, 2022, and notice of hearing was posted at property on September 6, 2022. Current status of the case as of today, permit application is being applied for a violation, but the permit has not been renewed. At this time, we're asking Your Honor to find that violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, the city's
28
request-
days or $50.
Okay, I find the violation does exist, 28 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 8, property address 1624 Northeast 7th Street, case number BE 2208-0293. Owner, Tyrone Fam Trust 2021, Norman Tyrone Trustee. Notice posted at the property on 9/26/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case and address as read. As of late last night, this case has complied. So we're closing the case.
I'm sorry.
Complied?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's complied, Your Honor.
It's complied, okay. Good.
Page 8 at the bottom, property address 1702 Northeast 9th Street. Owner, VP Northeast 17th Ave LLC. Case number BE 2204-0153. Notice posted at the property on 9/26/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case and address as read. This case was opened on April 5th, 2022. The case was discovered by an inspector, and it was a window that was replaced without obtaining a permit. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on April 29, 2022. Final notice was sent to the property owner on July 5th, 2022, and notice of hearing was posted at the property on September 13, 2022. Current status of the case is that permit BLD WIN 220-60027 is applied for but not issued as of today. At this time, we're asking Your Honor to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per violation per day after.
I find the violation does exist, 28 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 9, property address 2417 Bayview Drive. That case has been withdrawn. Page 10,
Thank you.
Chief George Oliva, property address 258 Southwest 32nd Court. Case number BE 22, I'm sorry, I need to do 1 Las Olas Circle, correct? I'm sorry. Page 10 at the top, 1 Las Olas Circle. Owner, Venetian Condominium, Inc., case number BE 22060145. Notice posted at the property 10/3/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
I'm sorry.
Inspector Suarez presenting case for
We're on
Chief Oliva.
page.
The,
Okay.
good? All right. Inspector Suarez presenting case for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
Okay. I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, we have a respondent that showed up. Page 14, Chief George Oliva, property address 830 Northwest 57th Street. Owner Vincent Rostov, case number BE 2205-0228. Notice posted at the property on 9/23/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief
Sir, you
Oliva.
could come to the podium.
Thank you for
Have you
seeing-
been sworn in?
Yes, I've been sworn in.
Okay, thanks.
Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief Oliva. The report was submitted, but it failed a 180-day extension and $100 a day thereafter.
Repeat that, Hector.
I'm sorry, we're on the middle of page 14.
Yes.
Yes.
City's request is,
The report was submitted, but it failed a 180-day extension and $100 a day thereafter.
all right. All right, sir, if you'll speak into the microphone and state your name, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you for seeing me, guys. My name is Vince Rostov. I'm the owner of the property. I flew in from state of Michigan. I don't live in Florida anymore. We are in the process of finishing with electrical contractor. There was a miscommunication between us, but we're working things out, and I was just wondering if you guys could give us a small extension to finish up the work that needs to be finished with the electrical contractor.
All right, I found the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Page 10, Chief George Oliva, property address 258 Southwest 32nd Court, case number BE 2206-0022. Owner Mary B. Karat Trust, Mary B. Karat Trustee. Notice posted at the property on 9/20/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief Oliva. The report was submitted, but it failed a 180-day extension and $100 a day thereafter.
All right, I found the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 11, property address 300 Southwest First Ave. Owner Limerick Group LLC, case number BE 2205-0194. Notice posted at the property on 8/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
Okay, I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Property address 300 Southwest First Ave. Owner 300 Group LLC in care of John J. O'Shaughnessy. Case number BE 2205-0195. Notice posted at the property on 8/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 11, property address 300 Southwest First Ave, 145, case number BE 2205-0218. Owner Kevin Michael O'Shaughnessy in care of John J. O'Shaughnessy. Notice posted at the property on 8/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
All right, I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 12 at the top, property address 421 Northeast 11th Street, owner 421 Northeast Holding LLC, case number BE 2206-0147. Notice posted at the property on 9/1/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presented for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 13, property address 764 Northwest 57th Court, case number BE 2205-0222, owner Chevalier Enterprises LLC. Notice posted at the property on 9/23/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 13, property address 801 Northwest 57th Street, owner Carter Property Enterprises, Inc., case number BE 2205-0244. Notice posted at the property on 9/23/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting case for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 14, at the top, property address 820 Northeast 17th Ave, owner VP Northeast 17th Ave LLC, case number BE 2205-0063. Notice posted at the property on 9/16/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presented for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 14 at the bottom, property address 841 Northwest 57th Street, case number BE 2205-0229, owner Carter Property Enterprises, Inc. Notice posted at the property 9/23/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Suarez presenting case for Chief Oliva. The required safety inspection report hasn't been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 15. Nope, we finished that. Page 16 at the top, property address 1417 Southwest First Ave, owner SS 1417 LLC, FT 1417 LLC, case number BE 2206-0016. Notice posted at the property on 8/30/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Your Honor, Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva. The required safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 1431 North Federal Highway, owner Brick Box Atlantic LLC, case number BE 2205-0206. Notice posted at the property 9/21/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Your Honor, Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva. The required safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 17, property address 2817 East Oakland Park Boulevard, owner ACS 2817 LLC, case number BE 2205-0168. Notice posted at the property on 9/22/22, posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Your Honor, Inspector Maddock presenting the case for Chief George Oliva. The required safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 2910 East Oakland Park Boulevard. Case number BE 2205-0213. Owner, Claridge Homes 3000 Waterside LP. Notice posted at the property on 9/21/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva for the case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the new report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right. I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 18 at the top. Property address 3000 Northwest 69th Court, Common Area. Owner, Palm Air Village Condo Association Number 1, Inc. Case number BE 2204-0093. Notice posted at the property 9/23/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva for the case and address as read. The report was submitted, but it failed. City is requesting 180 days extension and $100 per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, how many days?
180 days.
180 days. All right. I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 3100 East Commercial Boulevard. Owner, Elias Family Holdings LLC. Case number BE 2205-0198. Notice posted at the property on 9/29/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva for case and address as read. The report was submitted, but it failed. The city is requesting a 180-day extension and $100 per day thereafter.
All right. I found the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 18 at the bottom. Property address 3100 South Federal Highway. Owner, Air Park Executive LLC. Case number BE 2205-0209. Notice posted at the property 9/20/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva for case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is asking, Your Honor, the city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay. I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 19 at the bottom. Property address. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. We have to go back to the top. Property address 3880 West Davie Boulevard. Case number BE 2205-0127. Owner, Stephen Francis Arciero. Notice posted at the property on 8/30/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva for the address and case as read. The report was submitted, but it failed. The city is requesting 180-day extension and $100 per day thereafter.
All right. I found the violation does exist, 180 days or $100 per day thereafter.
Page 19 at the bottom. Property address 5711 Northeast 14th Ave. Owner, Roma Investment Properties LC. Case number BE 2205-0224. Notice posted at the property on 10/3/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva for addressing cases read. The required safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I found the violation exists, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 20. Property address 5950 North Federal Highway. Owner, 5950 North Federal Investments LLC. Case number BE 2205-0205. Notice posted at the property on 9/29/22. Posted at City Hall 10/6/22.
Inspector Maddock presenting the case in behalf of Chief George Oliva for case and address as read. The required safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 21 at the top, old business, property address 3010 Northwest 68th Street, owner Gardens at Palm Air Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 22040093. This case was first heard on 9/15/22 to comply by 3/14/23. One section not comply at $100. City is requesting to vacate the previous order from 9/15/22.
Okay, that's granted.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to page 23. Senior Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 1231 Northeast 9th Ave, owner Transformer Realty LLC.
Bottom of page 21.
21. Oh, I'm sorry, I had that marked off. I didn't read that earlier? Oh, okay, my apologies. Page 21 at the bottom, property address 4100 Galt Ocean Drive, owner The Galleon Condo Apartments, Inc., case number BE 21080064. This case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 4/21/22. Fines suspended as noted. One section not complied at $100. Total fines $5,600. This case was ordered to reappear today, and we didn't have a respondent show up. Okay.
So there's no order, Your Honor, because it was an order to reappear for the property owner to update on the status of what they're doing, and they have not bothered to show up today.
Okay, so impose the fine.
Well, we'll bring it back as a mess.
Yeah.
The next hearing, we'll bring it back to impose the fines.
All right.
So there's nothing to order on it today. Okay, moving on to page 23. Property address 1231 Northeast 9th Ave, hearing to impose fines. Case number BE 22040151, owner Transformer Realty LLC. This case was first heard 5/19/22 to comply by 8/18/22. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,100, which continues to accrue.
City's request is granted.
Property address 1517 Ponce de Leon Drive, owner Joseph and Amanda Safina, Joseph Safina Trust, case number BE 211-20069. This case was first heard on 4/14/22 to comply by 6/16/22. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,100.
City's request is granted.
Page 24, property address 4451 Twin Lakes Boulevard, case number BE 22070013. Owner William Shama. This case was cited on 7/8/22 to comply by 8/22/22. One section not complied at $250. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $14,500, which continues to accrue. Appeal deadline 7/23/22. No appeal received.
Okay, city's request is granted.
Property address 1637 Northeast 16th Ave, case number BE 211-20024. Owner Cherone Fam Trust 2021, Normand Cherone Trustee. This case was first heard on 3/17/22 to comply by 6/16/22. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,250, which continues to accrue.
City's request is granted.
Your Honor.
Oh, I have the inspector here, sorry.
Yes. All the permits but the pool permit. The rest of the permits are issued, but the pool permit is pending. So, city is requesting the amount to be imposed.
I'm sorry, the city's requesting
The amount to be
For the
imposed.
imposition.
full imposition.
Yes, full imposition.
Granted.
Page 25 at the top. Property address 2601 East Oakland Park Boulevard. Owner MHC Oakland Park Owner LLC. Case number BE 211-00327. This case was first heard on 5/19/22 to comply by 8/18/22. One section complied at $50. Total cost $1,950. City is requesting to, go ahead, Leo.
Well, Fines to be
City's
imposed.
city's requesting to reduce fines to administrative costs of $575.
All right, granted.
Thank you. Property address 5743 Northeast 17th Terrace, owner Angela Kubler, case number BE 211-10001. This case was first heard on 2/17/22 to comply by 4/21/22. Fine suspended as noted, one section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose fines of $6,950, which continues to accrue.
Your Honor, permit BLD-FEN-220A0107 was issued on October 12th. The case is complied. City is requesting to reduce fines to administration costs of $575.
All right, granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Moving on to page 26, property address 2943 Coral Shores Drive, case number CE 200500269. Owner Mike M. Sabzili. No, this case was first heard on 6/16/22 to comply by 8/18/22. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,000.
Yes.
Okay, city's request is granted.
Property address 6750 Northwest 27th Way. Owner Gerard Anthony Scalzo, case number BE 2201-0175.
That's not for today, Tasha. That's rescheduled for next month.
Oh, sorry. Big old reschedule in the middle. Sorry about that. One moment, please. Yes. Yes. It will come back as a yes. Where were you? My apologies. Property address, moving on to page 27, property address 219 Southwest 31st Street. Owner Patricia Berry Revocable Trust, Curtis C. Berry Revocable Trust, case number BE 200400295. This case was first heard on 7/15/21 to comply by 8/26/21. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $41,900, which continues to accrue.
Granted.
Property address 220 Southwest 31st Street. Owner BH Gourmet Properties, Inc., case number BE 200-40300. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 8/17/21. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $42,800, which continues to accrue.
Granted.
Page 28, property address 823 Northeast 19th Ave, 1-3, case number BE 21070242. Owner Sadovia LLC. This case was first heard on 12/16/21 to comply by 6/14/22. One section complied at $100. Total fine $7,200. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative cost of $1,275.
That's granted.
Property address 844 Northwest 10th Terrace. Owner Prasad USA Property Holdings LLC. Case number BE 200-60038. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 7/1/21. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $47,500, which continues to accrue.
Granted.
Page 29 at the bottom, property address 1345 Northeast 4th Ave. Owner Amin Payne Relief Nautical LLC, case number BE 21070207. This case was first heard on 1/20/22 to comply by 3/3/22. One section not complied at $100. Total fines $22,300. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
The city's request is granted.
Page 30, property address 1425 Northeast 56th Street, case number BE 21090251. Owner MPG FL LLC. This case was first heard on 2/17/22 to comply by 3/31/22. One section complied at $100. Total fines $13,600. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative cost of $1,275.
The city's request is granted.
Page 31, property address 5230 Northeast 14th Way, case number BE 2107-0150, owner Enrique Acion. This case was first heard on 12/16/21 to comply by 127/22, one section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $26,500, which continues to accrue.
City's request is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we would like to have all the cases that are listed on page 33 into the record as closed or rescheduled.
All right, granted, we stand in recess.
Thank you. This concludes our October 20th, 2022 special magistrate hearing for the Building Enforcement Division.
give me some volume.
Good morning and welcome to the lien reduction hearing for October 20th, 2022. If you wish to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm to speak the truth at today's proceedings? You may be seated. Our first case is on page 4.
Okay.
Case number CE 2206-0754, property address 1511 Northwest 4th Ave, owner Mr. Development Company LLC. The total lien amount is $2,600 with administrative costs of $519.46. The city requests $1,300. The appeal deadline was July 22nd, 2022, and no appeal was received.
All right, sir. Good morning. If you'll
morning.
speak right here in the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Michael McGowan.
All right. Okay, I've reviewed your application, in fact, the entire file, and you review my notes just a second. You're out of compliance 13 days, vacation rental. Okay, go ahead, sir.
We actually received notification that we're out of compliance on August the 6th. We deactivated our Airbnb listing within 2 days and removed the tenant. Then began the process of applying for compliance, which we then received the certificate on September the 20th.
All right. Okay. Yeah, well, this was a citation, and no appeal was filed, so the violation was deemed admitted at that time. Total fine was $2,600. So in this case, I'm going to grant your petition to reduce the fine and reduce the amount to $1,300, payable within 30 days. 30 days sufficient to pay?
It is, but if my only other comment is we did not even know about the appeal period because we didn't receive notification until August the 6th.
Well, the citation contained the information, so is 30 days sufficient to pay?
With all due respect, we did not receive any notification from the city until August the 6th. That was past the actual date of the appeal period. Okay. So we didn't even know about the citation, let alone an appeal period.
Okay, all right. The lien is reduced to $1,300 payable within 30 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next case is also on page 4. Case number CE 2206-0762, property address 2350 Southwest 27 Terrace, owner Mark Hastings and Leslie Roman. The total lien amount is $4,200 with administrative costs of $361.48. The city's request is $2,100. The appeal deadline was July 20th, 2022, and no appeal was received.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Let me review my notes just a second here. I recall your case. Your application for reduction said you misunderstood the violation and the need to appeal. But there was a need to appeal. No appeal was received. Total fines accrued of $4,200. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add, ma'am?
I just want to agree with what the my name is Leslie Roman. I'm the owner of the house, and I think the process was very confusing when I got the citation. I didn't realize any of the appeal information was on the back. So, okay, I didn't see it.
Okay.
I know I read every appeal I got. I never saw that I was supposed to appeal to reduce the fine.
Okay. All right, ma'am. I'm going to grant your petition to reduce the amount. I'm going to reduce the amount to $2,100. Is 30 days sufficient to pay that amount?
I guess so.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, payable within 30 days. Not paid within 30 days will revert to the original amount, not be eligible for any further reduction. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next case is on page 3. Case address case number is CE 2203-0067, property address 1117 Northeast 16th Terrace, owner Michael Kayas. Total lien amount is $1,700 with administrative costs of $680.08.
I'm sorry, we're on page 4?
Page 3.
Page 3. Address again.
1117 Northeast 16th Terrace. There's 2 cases on the same page, on page 3.
Hang on.
Okay, and the city's request is $850 for the first case. And
All
for
right.
the second case, case number CE 2204-0176, property address 1117 Northeast 16th Terrace.
All right, okay. Okay.
The lien amount is $8,600 with administrative costs of $361.48. The city's requesting $4,300. The appeal deadline was April 23rd, 2022, and no appeal was received.
All right, sir, I recall let me review your application. You had, on the first case, you had an issue with the pool company. Okay, so this was, and on the first case, $1,700 is the total amount. Administrative cost, $680. City's requesting $850. All right, sir, you want to address one or both of these? Let's do the first one.
Yes.
State your name for the record.
My name is Michael Quejallas.
Okay, you made an offer of $150, which is less than the administrative cost, so that offer is rejected. The minimum that I can do is $680.08 administrative cost.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's the minimum I can do. The city's requesting $850.
Whatever you say.
Okay.
Okay, $650.
All right, nothing else to add on that?
Well, whatever I have to say, since you say there is a $650 the administration fee, that's all I can say. Can you waive the administration fee?
Okay, all right. I'm going to grant your request to reduce the amount. I'm going to reduce the amount to $850, payable within 30 days. Not paid within 30 days will revert to the original amount, not be eligible for any further reductions. Okay, second case. Okay, this is the property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certification from the city. The listing deactivated. All right, anything you'd like to add on the second case? The total lien is, the total fine is $8,600. This was a citation, no appeal was received, so the violation was admitted. Okay, all right, anything further?
The $8,000 was for what reason? For not having the proper certificates?
Sir, if you adjust the microphone and speak right into it, please. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir, that's correct. It's for not having your vacation rental certificate.
We had 2 permits, and we did not know for more than 2, and that's why we was operating for Airbnb. But when we received your note that we need more certificates, we changed it to a month rental, which we do not need to have a permit from the city. And therefore, I never use it again. I never rent it again after your notice.
All right, okay.
Never rented it. Only until the day that we receive a note that we need more certificates.
Okay, all right, sir. Your total lien on that violation is $8,600. I'm going to grant your request to Let's see, administrative costs, so you do applicants, well, you offered less than the administrative costs, so that offer is rejected. I'm going to reduce the amount to $2,500, payable within 30 days. 30 days?
Okay, sir.
Payable within 30 days. If not paid within 30 days, will revert to the original amount and not be eligible for any further reduction. Thank
Okay.
you. You'll
Excuse
get
me,
an order in the mail.
the first case, how much is the first case that I have to pay?
I'm sorry.
From
It's
the
eight-
first,
The first one was $850, payable within 30 days.
but the owner says that it's $600 and some dollars.
The administrative costs, correct, were $680.08, but he ordered $850.
Okay, you'll get an order in the mail on each. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The next case is on page 2. Case number CE 22050609, property address 916 Southeast 12th Street, owner Shea Lalani LLC. The total lien amount is $11,600 with administrative costs of $460.14. The city requests $1,160, and the appeal deadline was June 7th, 2022, and no appeal was received.
All right, sir, I have read the, your application and read the entire file. Anything you'd like to add? State your name for the record first.
My name is John Bennett,
All right.
and I'm the owner of the property.
Okay, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I want to earnestly request that you let me pay only the administrative fees. And I have some paperwork that has some of the things I want to mention that I think justify what I'm requesting. No. And it won't take long, but
I'm sorry, what is this that you just,
I have a timeline that talks about when I got notice and what I was notified of. And I have a picture of the citation or the warning that I received. And they're just, if I could take a few minutes to explain why.
And Your Honor, as you know, the code specifically provides that the lien reduction process is not an opportunity to rehear the case. The case has already been heard and a decision was already made. So the lien reduction process is an opportunity for the property owner to provide, Your Honor, in the application and here in live testimony with mitigating factors.
we don't litigate the underlying violation. This is simply your application to reduce the amount, not relitigate the violation itself. This was a citation that was issued and no appeal was received, so the violation was admitted.
This is the first opportunity I've had to say anything about my case. I appeared at the previous hearing where, because there was no appeal, I was unable to say anything about it.
No, you received a citation, and you had the opportunity to appeal the citation, but you did not appeal the citation, so it was deemed admitted.
I actually only received a warning. The paperwork I got says there's a warning issued. There's a checkbox that says citation issued. I never got any citation. But I immediately complied with what the citation says. The citation says there are trash cans being stored across the street. And I immediately hired somebody to ensure that there would never be trash cans left across the street after, beyond the day of collection. Mm-hmm. And the cans that were across the street were identified as in violation, but the other cans that are causing me to have an $11,600, fee were not identified as problematic. I looked on Lauderdale, and it says garbage cans on the wrong side of the road. I complied immediately.
According to the city, you were out of compliance 58 days.
I complied with what was stated on the citation.
Okay.
And the day that I received the notice for the hearing, that I realized that the issue was the building line, and I complied with that the same week, as soon as I understood it. So the communication was to me, was totally confusing, and I addressed what it said, and I earnestly believe that, and I appeal to you, please, let me just pay the operational expenses.
Sir, again, no appeal was received, so by law, the violation was deemed admitted, okay? I think I've heard everything I need to hear, okay? And I'm going to grant your application to reduce the lien. I'm going to reduce the lien to $1,160, payable within 30 days. Not paid within 30 days will revert to the original amount, not be eligible for any further reductions. Thank you, sir.
You told me I'd have a chance to address this here when I was there before, but thank you.
Sir, I did not say you could substantively I never have told anybody in the 25 years that I've done code enforcement and lien reduction hearings that they can rehear a case at lien reduction. The law does not allow that. What you could have done was talk about the severity and all, there's factors in the ordinance, and I'm sure it's in the paperwork, that says why you shouldn't have to pay the fine that was there. Beyond that, I can't give you legal advice. You did have the opportunity to be heard within the confines of the city code.
Agreed, sir. Don't say anything else. Don't say anything else. No, you've been heard. You've been heard.
The next case is on page 1. Case address CE 2207-0279. Property address 708 Northeast 14th Place. Owner Anita Johnson. The lien amount is $3,200 with administrative costs of $453.48. The city requests $1,600. The appeal deadline was August 1st, 2022, and no appeal was received.
Okay.
Good morning.
All right, good morning. I recall this case. Let me review my notes just a moment. Okay. All right, I recall the case. I recall your explanation as to why you were out of violation. You were out of compliance for 8 days, according to the city. First of all, state your names for the record.
I'm Anita Johnson.
Okay. Okay. All right. If you want me to just cut to the chase here, I accept your explanation as to why you were out of compliance for 8 days, and I'm going to impose administrative cost only of $372.32. Payable within 30 days. Not paid within 30 days will revert to the original amount and not be eligible for any further reductions.
Thank you, sir.
The administrative costs were
Administrative cost only.
were $453.48. This is the second case on page 1.
Your Honor, it's the second case on page 1, 708 Northeast 14th Place.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So the admin costs are $450.
Sorry, we're on page 1.
Yes, sir, page 1.
Okay.
The second case.
Okay, I apologize. Okay. Okay, so we're on page 1.
Yes, sir.
And this is owner Anita Johnson.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Did not know you needed to appeal. There's compliance in time, and you stop the listing. Okay. All right, ma'am. Go ahead. This was a vacation rental. without the required certificate of compliance, that no appeal was received from the citation. Okay. Okay. You had offered, okay, administrative cost $453.48. I'm going to impose that amount, payable within 30 days, not payable within 30 days, revert to the original amount, not be eligible for any further reduction.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you.
The next case is also on page 1. Case address CE 2206-0260, property address 319 Southwest 12th Court, units 1 through 3. The owner is Centurion Venture Group LLC. The total lien amount is $8,000 with administrative costs of $368.14. The city requests $800. The appeal deadline was June 26th of 2022, and no appeal was received.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record.
Michael Illman.
Okay, I recall your application. I've read your application in the file. Okay, this was a recent purchase. The new landscaper had taken the trash out by mistake. Okay, this was a citation that was issued and no appeal was received. Okay, go ahead. Anything you'd like to add, sir?
No.
That's it, okay. All right, the total fine was $8,000. I'm going to grant your request to reduce that amount to $800, payable within 30 days.
Yes, sir.
Not paid within 30 days will revert to the original amount, not be eligible for any further reductions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
The next case is on page 2. Case address CE 2103-1054, property address 917 Orange Isle. Owners Alexander Panacho and Tania Panacho. The total lien amount is $8,600 with administrative costs of $452.95. The city requests $4,300. The appeal deadline was April 16th of 2021, and no appeal was received.
All right, sir, I recall your application and understand there were some issues with your mother's health. So go ahead, tell me whatever else you'd like to add.
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you so much. My name is Alexander Pinacho. I actually was here. I attempted to argue the case, I guess, but it was after the deadline. The reason that it was after the deadline was because my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer in April of 2020. So we were dealing with, for a period of about 6 months, we were dealing with going through all of that. She had surgery, and thankfully she's in good health today. But I did attempt to appeal the court. It was just after the required date. During the days where we had this violation, I did have a team working on it as soon as they were aware of it. Unfortunately, I was not aware of it in a timely manner because of what was going on. So I do ask the court if they can help us out at all at any point in time. That's all I can say at this point. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Okay. All right, I see you did, okay. All right. I'm going to grant your application for reduction. I'm going to reduce the amount to $2,100 plus administrative cost of $2,150 plus administrative cost $452.95, payable in 30 days. Not paid within 30 days will revert to the original amount and not be eligible for any further reductions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So it's the $2,150 plus $452?
Correct.
Okay, just to be clear, okay. The next case is on page 4, in the middle.
4.
Case address, yes. Case address is CE 2208-0465, property address 1713 Southwest 4th Court. Owner Katia Hall and Isa Ade Hall. The total lien amount was $1,600 with administrative costs of $372.32. The city requests $800. The appeal deadline was September 7th of 2022, and no appeal was received.
Okay, ma'am, if you'll state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Katya Hall.
All right. Well, I heard this case by mistake and said, I recall that you were out of compliance for 8 days. Okay.
Right, correct. But in reality,
I accept your explanation as to why you were out of compliance for 8 days, and I'm going to just impose administrative cost, $372.32, payable within 30 days. Not paid within 30 days will revert to the original amount and not be eligible for any further reductions.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
The last case today is on page 1. Case number CE 2201-0871, property address 785 West Evanston Circle, owners Emerline Noel and Erica Noel Simeon. The total lien amount was $10,800 with administrative costs of $570.75. The city requests $1,080.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. State your names for the record, please.
Erica Noel Simeon.
Emerline Noel.
All right. Okay, I recall your application and your issues with the very difficult tenant and your necessity to call the police on the tenant. Anything else you'd like to add?
They were just not moving and we could not put their things out.
Yeah, and
Police they told us actually when they came to the property, we cannot touch their property until they come and
yeah, and you actually had to file a lawsuit and the tenant threatened you.
all of that.
Okay, ma'am, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grant your request to reduce the amount of the lien. I'm going to impose administrative cost of $570.75. Payable within 30 days.
Okay.
Not paid within 30 days will revert to the original amount and not be eligible for any further reductions.
Okay, so 570?
Yeah, you'll get a written order in the mail.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
ma'am.
yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
This concludes the lien reduction hearing for October 20th, 2022.
Okay.